So today I'm going to do a blind react to some mental health TikToks. I am not the target audience for TikTok clearly, but I thought it would be interesting to give a practicing psychiatrist's perspective on these TikToks and maybe correct some misappreciations on the way, because a lot of the younger patients I see do get quite a lot of their mental health information from TikTok and do ask me questions about TikToks and talk about them. So without further ado, let's start. Windows slide open like that for two reasons. One, to prevent someone being able to jump out, especially if the ward is on the high floor of a hospital, and to prevent there being any ligature points the patient can use to tie a sheet or cord around in order to self-terminate. Boredom is a real problem, and you find people doing all of these things while they're inpatients. It's probably better to engage with activities in the hospital, but sometimes people aren't well enough to do the activities, and they find other ways to occupy their time.
Things in my psych ward room that just make sense. The bathroom that has no door and zero privacy. Love that.
Unfortunately, sometimes the choice is between privacy and comfort and safety. In spite of all the efforts we make, the self-termination rate among psychiatric inpatients is roughly 1 per 600 admissions. So, if we made things less restrictive, that self-termination rate would, unfortunately, rise. You can get over a lack of privacy during admission a year ago. It's a lot more difficult to recover from self-termination.
This thing that opens the window because we can't have doorknobs.
Doorknobs can have cords or sheets wrapped around them and form a secure ligature point for self-termination. If you look at the handle there, it is virtually impossible to tie anything onto it to act as an anchor point for ligatures.
The screen so I can't escape. The fucking shower. Look at the state of that.
Again, I see a shower which would be impossible to find a ligature point on. If one wants to self-terminate, that's actually a good design, and it still works just fine as a shower.
Ugh. A sink with absolutely no taps. I don't get it either. It's literally a hole.
More good design. No taps means no ligature points for self-termination.
This hole in the ground that the water goes into.
If that were replaced by a grate of some type or anything which wasn't flush with the ground, people would tie cords or sheets to it and use that for self-termination attempts.
A big board covering the hole. Some scratches from the last crazy. My work that I don't do.
That's actually unfortunate. This is actually an individualized activity plan, which is designed to be both therapeutic and rehabilitative. And it will be better if patients engage with their treatment rather than making TikTok videos about not doing it. With that said, each to their own, and different people progress through their recovery journey at different rates. And our job as psychiatrists is to meet them wherever they are and try to help them as best as we can, irrespective of whatever attitude they may be projecting towards their treatment, themselves, and us.
A slanted doorknob and a penis tap.
I mean, that's actually quite funny. She has a way with words. The design and the slant of the doorknob is to ensure that anything tied to it will slip off, again preventing self-termination. And the penis tap is actually designed with the slant, so again, nothing can be tied off on it to help create ligatures for self-termination purposes. That's actually just not a thing. Those are just ordinary blankets with an unusual pattern. Again, these taps are designed so that you can't tie a ligature onto them. And the hooks are all detachable at very low weight so that even though you can tie a ligature to it, it won't hold sufficient weight for you to do any harm to yourself. And one variation of those hooks is that they can also be alarmed so that when they do come off, an alarm goes to the nurse's station and nurses can come in, which is useful if people are attempting to self-terminate, but unfortunately can cause an awful lot of false alarms as people clumsily pull the hooks down by mistake. Again, this is another case of safety over privacy. Anytime a ward has had locks on the inside of bathroom doors, there's been an epidemic of people locking themselves in the bathrooms either to attempt self-termination, take illegal substances, or engage in inappropriate behavior with other patients. So, to prevent all of those things, the doors lock from the outside if there are locks at all. This obviously isn't pleasant, but it is necessary. Okay, well, obviously that's a lot of call buttons, but if someone's in physical or emotional distress, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to immediately call for help. I'd rather spend the money on call buttons, which are rarely used, and save a little money when building the ward and have people not be able to access the help that they need. Yeah, to be fair, that exit sign right outside the window is quite unfortunate placement. It either seems to be tempting you to exit or taunting you that you can't exit. So that should probably be looked at. That's not the sort of thing you want just outside a window that can't be opened. This is very unfortunate and sad to see, especially in a TikTok. We see inpatients that either rush to wellness very genuinely or just fake being better than they are in order to get discharged because, very understandably, everyone wants to go home. This is very unfortunate because it results in incorrect decisions and more problems in the long run in an awful lot of fake cases. Plus, psychiatrists are well used to discharging people who aren't 100% well, but who are making progress in the right direction where risks can be managed through careful follow up and extra supports being provided. So, when people do this, they not only increase their risk on discharge, they damage the doctor patient relationship and they create a situation in which they're actually harming their long term recovery. This TikTok actually makes me feel quite sad for this girl. So I hope you found this interesting. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video and if you'd like to be notified of future videos like this. And until we meet again, take care of yourselves and each other.